This is the true horrifying story of an elderly lady who was feeding a bear illegally, that ended with the bear betraying the hand that fed it by breaking into her home. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. This is the story of Barbara Paschke, mauled to death by a black bear. Welcome to Exclusion. Barbara Paschke, at 85 years old, was living a life she cherished near Ashley Lake, a picturesque and remote corner of northwest Montana. Her modest cabin, tucked away between Batavia Lane and Ashley Lake Road, was surrounded by the breathtaking beauty of the Montana wilderness. Towering pine trees, the tranquil blue of Ashley Lake, and the soft whispers of wind through the forest canopy made this a serene place. For Barbara, this place was more than a home. It was a sanctuary. Barbara was known by her neighbors as a lover of wildlife. She found joy in observing the animals that frequented her property: deer, birds, and occasionally the bears that would wander close to her cabin. Like many who live on the edge of wild spaces, she felt a special connection to the creatures that shared her world. But unbeknownst to her neighbors, Barbara had crossed a dangerous line. She had been feeding the bears that ventured near, a well-meaning but ultimately dangerous practice that would lead to tragedy. On the evening of September 27th, 2023, the peaceful life Barbara had cultivated took a horrifying turn. Sometime in the night, a black bear entered her home. How the bear got in is still unclear. Was it an unlocked door, an open window, or sheer determination from an animal accustomed to receiving food from humans? But the details of its entry pale in comparison to what happened next. The bear attacked Barbara in her own home. It was a brutal and terrifying encounter. When wildlife officials arrived, they found evidence of the bear's path of destruction. The bear had fled through a window, leaving behind a scene of horror. Barbara, gravely injured, would succumb to her wounds just days later, on October 1st. Her death sent shockwaves through the small, close-knit community. The news of Barbara's death quickly spread, raising immediate concerns about the safety of the residents living near Ashley Lake. As the days passed, fear turned to urgency. The Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks (FWP) department launched a search for the bear responsible for the attack. John Fraley, spokesperson for FWP, addressed the public's growing anxiety. "We have to balance the search with public safety and ongoing investigations. We understand the community's concerns, and we're doing everything we can to prevent another tragedy." The search for the bear was difficult and fraught with complications. Black bears are elusive creatures, capable of covering vast distances quickly. The dense forests around Ashley Lake provided countless hiding spots. FWP officers set traps throughout the area, hoping to capture the bear involved. Within days of the attack, they captured and euthanized 2 black bears that had been observed near the property. Necropsies revealed their stomachs were filled with millet and sunflower seeds, clear signs that they had been actively fed by humans. While these bears had not been involved in the attack, they were still a significant threat. "These bears were not afraid of people anymore," explained Eric Wenham, a bear and lion specialist with FWP. "They had become food conditioned and habituated, a dangerous combination." As the investigation continued, troubling details about Barbara's interactions with the bears surfaced. It was revealed that Barbara had been feeding bears on her property for years, despite being cited by wildlife authorities back in 2012. This wasn't a case of ignorance, it was a decision made out of a misguided sense of kindness and a deep connection to the animals she loved. But feeding bears is illegal for good reason. When bears are fed, they lose their natural fear of humans and begin to associate people with easy food sources. This habituation can lead to aggressive behavior, making them a danger to the community. "Once a bear gets used to being fed, it stops foraging for itself," said Wenham. "And when that food source disappears, it becomes desperate. That's when it starts breaking into homes, trailers, and vehicles." Barbara's death was a stark example of the dangers of habituating wildlife. The bear that attacked her did not see her as a threat. It likely saw her as a source of food, or, when no food was present, became aggressive in its confusion and hunger. With 2 bears euthanized and still no sign of the one responsible for Barbara's death, the tension in the community only grew. Residents were on high alert, watching their surroundings carefully and reporting any bear sightings to authorities. FWP officers continued their search, setting more traps and increasing patrols around the Ashley Lake area. FWP investigator Brian Summers explained the stakes. "We are dealing with a bear that has already attacked a human, and we can't afford another incident. But it's also clear that the problem is bigger than just one bear. It's a pattern of behavior that we need to break." The situation took another turn when DNA testing on one of the euthanized bears revealed it was a sibling to the bear believed to have attacked Barbara. Both were yearling females, still relatively young, and likely reliant on the food sources they had become accustomed to on Barbara's property. There was no familial link to the other bear euthanized, highlighting that multiple bears in the area had been affected by human feeding. Despite the heightened efforts, the bear responsible for the attack remained elusive. The search was suspended, but the danger was not over. The area around Ashley Lake remained a potential hotspot for further incidents as bears continued to roam, conditioned by years of human interaction. The tragedy at Ashley Lake is more than a story of a single fatal encounter. It is a reflection of the broader issue of human-wildlife interaction in areas where civilization meets the wild. As communities continue to expand into wilderness areas, the frequency of such encounters is only likely to increase. The focus shifted from finding a single bear to addressing the root cause of the problem: human behavior. Wildlife officials began a campaign to educate residents about the dangers of feeding wildlife, urging them to remove all sources of supplemental feed. Flyers were distributed, town meetings were held, and game wardens patrolled more frequently. Eric Wenham's warnings were stark but necessary. "We must change our relationship with these animals. They are not pets. They are wild, and they need to stay that way for their safety and ours." The residents of the Ashley Lake area were left to grapple with the aftermath of the tragedy. Many had known Barbara as a kind and gentle soul, someone who loved the natural beauty of Montana and all its creatures. But her death served as a cautionary tale, a reminder that good intentions can lead to dangerous outcomes when the rules of nature are ignored. Local leaders, wildlife officials, and residents came together to discuss how to coexist safely with the wildlife that shares their home. New community guidelines were established, emphasizing the importance of securing trash, removing bird feeders, and avoiding any form of feeding or interaction with bears and other wildlife. Some residents installed electric fencing around their properties, and others formed neighborhood watch groups specifically focused on wildlife safety. FWP also increased its presence in the area, launching initiatives to monitor bear activity and quickly address any signs of habituation. Game wardens conducted regular patrols, and residents were encouraged to report any sightings or signs of bears in their neighborhoods. The story of Ashley Lake is a powerful reminder of the thin line between coexistence and conflict in places where human habitats meet the wild. It is a lesson in respect for the power and unpredictability of nature, and for the rules that govern safe interaction with it. While Barbara Paschke's death was a tragic loss, the search for the bear that attacked Barbara may have ended, but the story is far from over. The events at Ashley Lake continue to echo through the community, serving as a call to action for better education, better practices, and a deeper understanding of how to live alongside the wild. The story of Barbara Paschke and the bears of Ashley Lake is a testament to the fragile balance that exists between humans and the natural world. In a place where the wild still reigns, respect and caution are the keys to harmony. As the sun sets over Ashley Lake and the forest returns to its quiet hum, the message is clear. Nature is not ours to tame, but to understand and respect. Only then can we truly share this beautiful, untamed land. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe for everything Exclusion.